Welcome to the journey of exploring one of the most powerful empires in human history, the Roman Empire. From a small village by the Tiber River in the 8th century BC, Rome grew to become a symbol of strength, civilization, and endurance, ruling the Mediterranean region for over a millennium. Today we will learn about its rise, golden age, and the reasons for its fall. Let's start this journey from where it all began, by the banks of the Tiber River. Did you know that the great Roman Empire was once just a small city-state by the Tiber River, in the Latium region of what is now Italy, about 25 kilometers from the Tyrrhenian Sea? Around 1000 BC, this area was home to Latin and Etruscan tribes who lived mainly by farming and herding. Rome's location was perfect. It was on 7 hills, like Palatine and Capitoline, close to the sea but far enough to avoid pirates, and the Tiber River connected it to the Mediterranean Sea. These advantages helped Rome grow from a farming community to a strong military and political power by the 6th century BC. According to legend, Rome was founded on April 21, 753 BC by Romulus, who killed his twin brother Remus in a fight. The story says they were descendants of Aeneas, a hero from the Trojan War, and were raised by a she-wolf after being left by the Tiber River at the foot of the Palatine Hill. Though it's a myth, this story shows the strong spirit and will to survive of the Romans. The Palatine Hill, now in the center of Rome, is still one of the most important archaeological sites, proving this legendary beginning. Rome started as a republic in 509 BC, after overthrowing the last king in Latium. For nearly 500 years, the Roman Republic expanded its land through wars with Carthage, from 264 to 146 BC, and conquered Greece in 146 BC. But by the 1st century BC, constant civil wars between leaders like Julius Caesar and Pompey weakened it. In 27 BC, after defeating Mark Antony and Cleopatra at the Battle of Actium, near the west coast of Greece, Octavian, Caesar's nephew, became Augustus, the first emperor of Rome. This marked the change from a republic to an empire, starting a new era with power in the hands of the emperor. Augustus, whose real name was Gaius Octavius, was born in 63 BC in Rome and laid the foundation for the Roman Empire. He was not only a great military leader, but also a wise politician. During his rule from 27 BC to 14 AD, Augustus reformed the army, set up an efficient tax system, and built a large network of infrastructure across Italy and provinces like Gaul, now France. He proudly said, "I found Rome a city of bricks and left it a city of marble." Indeed, under Augustus, Rome became a magnificent city with huge buildings, and the empire entered a stable period that lasted for centuries. At its peak in 117 AD under Emperor Trajan, the Roman Empire stretched from Scotland in the north, where Hadrian's Wall is, to the Sahara Desert in North Africa, from Portugal in the west, to what is now Iraq in the east. It covered over 5 million square kilometers, with about 60 million people. The Mediterranean Sea became the Roman lake, with big cities like Alexandria in Egypt, Carthage in Tunisia, and Antioch in Turkey under Rome's control. This expansion was not just because of military strength, but also because of policies that mixed cultures and gave citizenship to conquered people. Behind this expansion was one of the best armies of ancient times. The Roman legion had about 5,000 soldiers, organized and trained strictly at camps like Vindobona, now Vienna. Each soldier had armor, a large shield, and a short sword called a gladius. They were famous for flexible tactics like the testudo formation, meaning tortoise, where soldiers held their shields like a tortoise shell to attack. From the 3rd century BC to the 5th century AD, discipline and teamwork helped Rome conquer from Spain to Mesopotamia. To keep the large territory united, Rome built a road system over 80,000 kilometers long, connecting Rome to far provinces like Britannia, now England, and Hispania, Spain. The most famous road is the Appian Way, built from 312 BC, stretching from Rome to Brindisi in southern Italy, about 560 kilometers away. These roads were not just for the military, but also helped trade and cultural exchange. Thanks to them, a letter could be sent from Rome to Londinium, London, in just 10 days, an amazing achievement at that time. When talking about Roman architecture, we must mention the Colosseum, started in 72 AD under Emperor Vespasian, and finished in 80 AD under Titus. This building is in the center of Rome, and could hold up to 50,000 spectators. The Colosseum hosted gladiator fights, animal hunts, and even mock sea battles with an artificial flooding system. It was not just for entertainment, but also a symbol of the empire's power and luxury. Today, the Colosseum still stands, attracting millions of visitors each year. One of the greatest legacies of Rome is its legal system. Starting with the 12 tables in 450 BC in Rome, Roman law grew into a complex and fair system. Principles like innocent until proven guilty and contracts must be honored became the foundation for modern law. In the 6th century AD, Emperor Justinian I in Constantinople, now Istanbul, organized Roman law into the Corpus Juris Civilis, which deeply influenced European law later on. Daily life in Rome revolved around farming and trade. The Campania region, in southern Italy near Mount Vesuvius, had fertile land and was the empire's breadbasket from the 3rd century BC. Romans grew wheat, grapes, olives, and developed sea routes through the port of Ostia near Rome to trade across the Mediterranean. In the city, markets like Trajan's Market, built in 112 AD, were busy with buyers and sellers trading goods from Chinese silk to Indian spices. Urban life was lively with public baths, theaters, and forums. Roman society was clearly divided. The patricians, the noble class, lived in luxurious villas in Rome and Pompeii, holding political and economic power. Below them were the plebeians, the common people, and slaves, who made up about 30% of the population in the 1st century AD. Slaves were often prisoners of war from Gaul or North Africa, working in silver mines in Hispania or farms in Sicily. However, Roman citizens, even plebeians, had the right to vote and join the army, which made Rome different from other empires at that time. Roman culture was bright with poetry, literature, and mythology. The poet Virgil, who lived in the 1st century BC in Rome, wrote the Aeneid, an epic praising the divine origins of Rome. Gods like Jupiter, god of thunder, Mars, god of war, and Venus, goddess of love, were worshipped in large temples like the Temple of Jupiter on the Capitoline Hill. The Saturnalia festival, held in December from 217 BC, was a time for people to celebrate and forget social boundaries. After conquering Greece in 146 BC, Rome adopted and developed Greek culture. Roman architecture, with columns and arches, was influenced by the Parthenon in Athens. The philosophy of Plato and Aristotle was studied and spread by Roman scholars like Cicero, born in 106 BC in Arpinum near Rome. Many Roman plays, like those by Plautus, were Latin versions of Greek works, performed in theaters in Rome and Pompeii. The Golden Age of Rome was called Pax Romana, Roman peace, starting in 27 BC under Augustus, and lasting until 180 AD under Marcus Aurelius. During these 200 years, the empire had few major wars. The economy grew strongly from Britannia to Egypt and culture flourished. Trade expanded through ports like Ostia and Alexandria, bringing great wealth. This was the time of talented emperors like Trajan, who expanded the empire to Dacia, now Romania, in 106 AD. The heart of the empire was the city of Rome, located in the center of the Italian peninsula, by the Tiber River. In the 1st century AD, Rome had over 1 million people, making it the largest city in the world at that time. With great buildings like the Pantheon, finished in 126 AD, and the Roman Forum, the center of politics and society, Rome was a symbol of greatness. Stone-paved streets, water systems from springs tens of kilometers away, and baths like the Baths of Caracalla, 212 AD, showed high urbanization. Rome was famous for its religious freedom policy, allowing conquered peoples to worship their gods as long as they respected the emperor. However, in the 1st century AD, Christianity emerged from Judea, now Israel. At first, it was suppressed, but it spread across the empire through Roman roads. In 313, Emperor Constantine issued the Edict of Milan in Mediolanum, now Milan, recognizing Christianity. In 380, it became the state religion under Theodosius I in Rome, changing world religious history. The Romans were brilliant engineers. They invented concrete in the 2nd century BC, a strong material that allowed them to build the Pont du Gard bridge in Lusitania, now Portugal, 49 meters high, finished around 60 AD. The Cloaca Maxima sewer system, built in the 6th century BC in Rome, was a big step in city sanitation. Techniques like arches and domes, as seen in the Pantheon, created large interior spaces and influenced architecture worldwide. Though strong, Rome always faced threats from Germanic tribes on the northern border, along the Rhine and Danube rivers. In 9 AD, at the Battle of the Teutoburg Forest in Germania, now Germany, 3 Roman legions were destroyed by a Germanic alliance led by Arminius. To protect the border, Emperor Hadrian built Hadrian's Wall, 117 kilometers long, in Britannia, England, in 122 AD, marking the northern limit of the empire. But Rome's biggest enemy came from within. Corruption spread among the nobles and officials, especially under Nero, 54 to 68 AD in Rome, who was known for his extravagance and cruelty. Economic crises from inflation and high military costs at borders like Germania made things worse. By the 3rd century AD, the empire fell into chaos with many civil wars and invasions by barbarian tribes from the north. To deal with the crisis, Emperor Diocletian, 284 to 305 AD, decided to split the empire into 2 parts in 285. The Eastern Roman Empire with its capital in Nicomedia, now Turkey, and the Western Roman Empire with its capital in Mediolanum, Milan. Each part was ruled by an Augustus helped by a Caesar. Though it helped manage things better in the short term, this division weakened the empire's unity, setting the stage for the fall of the West. In 410 AD, Rome was sacked by the Visigoths led by Alaric, a big shock for the empire. On September 4, 476 AD, the last Western Roman emperor, Romulus Augustulus, was overthrown by the Germanic leader Odoacer in Ravenna, 400 kilometers north of Rome. This event marked the fall of the Western Roman Empire, starting the Middle Ages in Europe. However, Rome's legacy lived on. While the West fell, the Eastern Roman Empire, or Byzantine Empire, continued with its capital in Constantinople, now Istanbul, founded in 330 AD by Constantine. Under Justinian I, 527 to 565 AD, Byzantium reached its peak, building the Hagia Sophia Church and organizing Roman law. The empire lasted until May 29, 1453, when it was conquered by the Ottomans, ending over 1,000 years of Roman tradition. Rome's legacy still exists today. The Latin language, developed from the 7th century BC in Latium, is the root of Romance languages like French, Italian, and Spanish. Roman architecture, with arches and columns, influenced buildings from the White House in Washington, D.C., to St. Peter's Basilica in the Vatican. Roman law, originating in Rome, is the foundation for the legal systems of many European countries. Rome's influence on the modern world is undeniable. The political system with a Senate and lower house, modeled from the Roman Republic in 509 BC, is used in the US and Europe. Road and bridge building techniques like the Appian Way are still developed in modern highway systems. Even the names of months, like July, from Julius Caesar, and August from Augustus, are proof of Rome's lasting mark. The rise and fall of Rome teach us valuable lessons. Even the strongest empire needs internal unity, good management, and the ability to adapt. Corruption in Rome, the division in 285, and complacency led to its fall in 476. Understanding Rome helps us see that history repeats itself, and only by learning from the past can we build a better future. In the eyes of later generations, Rome is not just an empire but a symbol of strength, creativity, and an unyielding spirit. Every stone in the Colosseum, every ancient road like the Appian Way, every story about Augustus or Romulus reminds us of a glorious era. Rome lives on in popular culture, from the movie Gladiator to the game Assassin's Creed. So why is Rome considered one of the greatest empires? It's because of its unmatched military power from Britannia to Mesopotamia, its creativity in engineering and law in Rome, its ability to blend cultures from Greece to Egypt, and its legacy that has lasted over 2,000 years. From a small city-state by the Tiber River, Rome changed the world forever. As you can see, understanding history not only helps us know the past, but also lights up the present and future. If you enjoyed this story, please like, subscribe to the channel, and share to explore more fascinating history together. Thank you for joining us on this journey to explore the Roman Empire, one of the greatest empires in history. If you love stories about ancient civilizations, don't forget to like, subscribe to LeosEnglish, and turn on notifications so you won't miss our next exciting videos. See you again.